Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bunch of Nuts podcast. This is Dan here at Big Cass. The Buckeyes, they've done it, brother. It wasn't even close. Just, I mean, belt to ass the entire time to Oregon. Feels
Yeah.
good. It feels really good.
And every time I was watching the Sugar Bowl, congrats Notre Dame. The field is set. Final Four is set. Um, and thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in New Orleans before we get started with the
Yeah.
terrorist attacks. But let's say this, man. Ohio State, we that offense, our offense came out 3 plays, 75-yard drive, forced them to a 3-and-out, come back, and I think we end up going kick punting, or yeah, we punted, which was stupid. It was 4th and 5. We were punting on the 38-yard line, and a net yard of 17 yards. But they get a 3-and-out again. We score again. So, like, the fast starts have been outstanding. Jeremiah Smith cannot be stopped, man. Cannot be stopped.
They're saying now it's no longer Mossed. It's you got Smith. I like it.
Muhammad just selling those shirts. My mom just ordered one.
I like it. You got Smith. I mean, I've been saying it for years, but it is what it is. No, it was just real quick. Great win. I thought the first drive was awesome again. The first play when they got G. Scott Jr. wide open,
Oh, brilliant.
such a brilliant design. And I mean, he's literally he's a tight end, G. Scott, but he's obviously he runs like a receiver. He's a mismatch nightmare. Getting him just in space is such a great play call. Jeremiah just could not be stopped. Then the second drive, that touchdown pass to Emeka was a
Oh,
really good ball from Will. Oh my goodness. But Emeka it kind of bounces. It was weird how it bounced up in the air, and then he came down with it though. The concentration. And once that happened, and we went up 14-0, I was feeling really good. Um, it just it was pure domination.
yeah, and Jaden Fielding hit a big field goal, go up 17-0.
He did. That
And
was huge.
then and then Oregon drives the ball a little bit and then they stall, which Dan Lanning uncharacteristically punted the ball. High State goes down. Obviously, we flipped the field because the second quarter, and then an absolute dot to Jeremiah Smith again. We're up 24-0, and we were feeling pretty good.
I think Dan Lanning kind of did a Ryan Day versus Michigan in this game. I don't know why he didn't go for it on some of these. He tried to play too conservative. It felt um, like I understand punting and stuff, but after you watch Ohio State, kind of have its way with your defense for the first two drives. Um, and this wasn't at home. You didn't have the home crowd because it was a Sea of Scarlet. Buckeye Nation.
60-40, that's what they said.
Yeah, Buckeye Nation showed out. And then on top of it, your running back Jordan James, he gets dinged up too. I feel like at times Dan Lanning was not aggressive enough at all. It was not very characteristic of Dan Lanning at all. I was expecting more trickery. We were correct. He used up all his bag of tricks in the first one. There was no trickery.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dan Lanning's a good coach. That's a good football team. It's the best team in the country all year, as they said. And Dylan Gabriel was sacked 13 times all season. He was sacked 8 yesterday. Jack Sawyer, JTT, Ty Hamilton, Cody Simon. I'm probably missing some. Just went
Aiden
off.
Curry had one, Sawyer,
Caden Curry.
JTT two, Cody Simon two, Lathan Ransom had one. Yeah, I mean, the defense, Jim Knowles, the schemes he had, man. And I know they lost their running back. I know Evan Stewart I guess he didn't even play. He was like a late scratch. It was weird. I have no idea what was
Really
going on.
weird.
No idea what happened there because I mean he was healthy. I felt like the whole. I didn't hear anything about him getting hurt. But Knowles schemed up a great game plan. We had two. Hancock was basically playing safety. Lathan Ransom was also playing safety, but he was everywhere. He had the game of his career, I think. Lathan Ransom, yesterday. Sonny Styles had a phenomenal game. Really got out on the edge. Honestly, this is kind of funny. I think everyone on the defense, probably did not have their best day was Caleb Downs, and he still had a great day. But it was just like
Oh,
everyone.
Caleb Downs was one of the highest rated players.
I, I,
Um,
I just feel like he didn't have his best
because
day.
he only had three tackles
Yeah,
total, and
because
he had
everyone
three.
elevated around him though.
Yeah, and
And
he had three.
Caleb did his job, but it was just like everyone else was
Yeah,
playing so out of their mind.
he had. I mean, Hero Canoe got in the game. Kenyatta Jackson, who was being held. Jermaine Matthews was in there playing well.
Yeah, he had
The only one you could really say had a bad game just because he gave up that one touchdown was Davison Igbinosun.
but
And he didn't have a bad game.
no, he used his head on the one play. He turned his head.
I'm going to tell you this right now, and I texted you this. If you could tell he got coached up really well, and he finally learned because if he doesn't turn his head, they're calling PI all day.
Absolutely. No, but hey, dude, even Denzel Burke, you like Coach Walton did a phenomenal job getting these cornerbacks ready. Everything I was frustrated about with the first game against Oregon, not giving enough of cushion, not having safeties deep, not turning your head, fixed all those problems, all those problems. Even Denzel Burke on that one, the Denzel Burke was targeted one
One time,
and it was a post route to Johnson, and Burke almost intercepted it. It was a little overthrown. If that ball was on target, Burke picks that off. It was just a phenomenal day for the second. Even Caleb Downs almost had a pick too, and then he got hit.
Caleb Downs almost had three picks. He had three pass deflections, and all of them should have been picks.
Did he really have three? I don't remember it.
Yeah, he had three pass deflections.
Wow.
Um, I'll tell you what, I didn't realize he was third in the team in tackles yesterday. Jordan Hancock. I need to rewatch the game. He had five tackles.
I, that's kind of surprising to me.
Sonny Styles had four. He had three solo, but I'm telling you, those three tackles were huge. Tyleik Williams had a great game.
Yes.
Jack Sawyer.
The one play, the one play I'm talking about with Tyleik where he literally
Oh yeah.
I think it was the guard. He just took Oregon's guard and just like launched me. And Kirk and Fowler were saying like, "Oh, that's gonna get some NFL scouts' attention." Like, yeah, that's what Tyleik Williams does, guys. Has anyone been watching for the past 2 years? He's been doing that every
I'm
game.
I'm telling you what. Um, I think Oregon was shell shocked. I think they were. We came out, punched them in the mouth on offense, came back and punched them right in the mouth on defense. And I think Dan Lanning, I think everybody was surprised.
Well, too, Dan Lanning. It prior we got the ball first, and he was kind of being facetious in his pregame interview, and he's like, "Oh, a 3-and-out looks great here." Like that's literally what he said first drive. Oh, I think we're gonna go 3-and-out. Looks great. And like, no, we're gonna score a touchdown in like 3 plays. How about that, buddy?
I mean, you want to say that as a coach, you really do. I mean, even Ryan Day said it coming out. He said, "Hey, we got to get a stop here in the second half." But like this defense, I think, like I said, they were shell shocked. They kept Dylan Gabriel in the pocket for so long. That's how good our coverage was. So Caleb Downs playing as and Cody Simon playing as the spy. Cody Simon, why wasn't he a finalist for the Butkus Award?
Dude, I don't know, and I hate to say this. I know you loved him last year and the past couple of years. I think Cody taking over for Tommy Eichenberg's spot. Um, and this is no disrespect to Tommy. It's just Cody's been phenomenal this year. He has 7 sacks on the season, bro. He's been a monster. And he's
I
so good in the
think
game. It is just with Cody kind of they had Cody doing blitzes up the A and B gap. It felt like kind of like on some delays too. Um, and then basically Caleb, I know he's a safety, but he was playing a spy with basically it was, Caleb and Cody were your two middle linebackers the way the defense was, and Hancock and Lathan were the safeties, and it was perfection. Knowles couldn't have done it any better. He rotated the defensive line. It was just perfect, 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 perfect.
What's that? What's that meme from Captain America? Perfect.
Homelander, yeah, the Homelander is like it was perfect,
Perfect.
perfect, perfect. Yeah, that's
Perfect.
exactly what I'm
So
going
I'm
for.
looking at season tackles. Cody Simon has 97 on the year. Sonny Styles has 85. Caleb Downs 71. Lathan Ransom 69. Jack Sawyer 53. JTT 49. Obviously, I'm looking at sacks here. JTT has 10. Um,
Sawyer has
Sawyer has 8, and then Cody Simon 7.
I'm
So
telling you, the season stats on this Buckeye team, they're kind of really rounding into form nicely when you look at them. Trey and Quinshawn a 1 yard in rushing difference between them. Like it's literally almost identical. Judkins has way more carries, but that's just kind of the style I think we're playing. Judkins has 924 yards on the year, 174 carries. Trey has 126 carries, 95 yards. Now that's also because Judkins is obviously your bell cow. Trey is your home run hitter, so that makes sense why you would rush Trey.
Trey is averaging 7.5 yards a carry, and Judkins is averaging 5.5.
But it's so balanced. I mean,
Yeah.
even like I know Jeremiah is beginning to run away with the receiving numbers. I mean, he's probably what I think like in the
How many
12.
catches do you think Jeremiah Smith has?
Not as much as like you would assume at this point. It feels like I would say no more than 70.
He has 70 right on the dot.
Wow. You know what's crazy? Emeka, I'm looking at it too. Emeka has 70 catches. And Jeremiah
Yards.
70. The thing is, though, Jeremiah's just way more efficient. 70 for 1,224 yards, 14 touchdowns. Emeka
It's the
70 for
but the
800.
thing, the difference between Emeka and Jeremiah is Jeremiah is housing balls.
Yeah. I mean,
Emeka is not.
you can't tackle him.
Emeka has 10 touchdowns, 14 touchdowns for Jeremiah Smith. The crazy thing is, and this is something we both will have to do some research. Maybe we'll ask Blake or somebody who can actually, that can really dive deep into this. When's the last time that we have the real potential by the season's end having 2,000-yard rushers and 2,000 yards receivers?
I honestly don't know if that's been done before. We'll have to look. I feel like that's very hard in a college game, bro, because the season's obviously not like the NFL season. It's condensed. You're only guaranteed 12 games, 13 if you go to a conference championship, 14 if you go to a conference championship in a bowl game, and then maybe um, I think the most games you could play in a season is 13, and then if you, I guess technically you go 13-0 and you're not a top four seed, I think you could technically play 17 games in a season. That's an NFL. So that's the NFL regular season.
Will Howard 73 yards percentage, completion percentage for 3,490 yards, 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
Yeah, he's playing great. And Will was
Efficient.
great. I felt terrible he couldn't get up on the stage. They said there was like a weight limit. It's like, come on.
How about you get off the stage and let him on the thing?
They were like, yeah, you wouldn't think he was like getting denied like bottle service at a club the way they were like not letting him up on the stage.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
he played he didn't have any turnovers. He had a phenomenal day. Let my guy up there.
Shout out to Blake, man. I'm glad Blake got to go out to the Rose Bowl. We actually talked him into it. Like he
Did.
sent us the text and we both were like, no brainer, go. Like,
Yeah.
no brainer. Like, it's the
And
Rose Bowl.
I think Blake, if you're listening, I think you need to go to the Cotton Bowl. Blake is well, I'm not gonna say he's good luck because he did go to the Michigan game, but um all these other games he's gone to, it's like Indiana, we took him to. He went to the Rose Bowl. They've been blowouts, so um I don't know. Maybe Blake has some secret.
I mean, shout out to Blake for got to experience this butt whooping. The Rose Bowl MVPs, Cody Simon, Jeremiah Smith. I looked at my wife. I was like, I thought Jack Sawyer, just the way he played, was going to get it. And then I really looked at the stats and I was like, holy crap, Cody Simon has 11 tackles.
Three tackles for yeah. I mean, dude, on defense, it could have gone to a multitude of people. It could have gone to Lathan, I think.
Yeah,
You could make an argument for obviously JTT or Jack, even Sonny played phenomenal. I mean, if we're handing out Buckeye leaves, the entire starting defense. I know Oregon, they put up 21 points, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it was garbage time. Dylan Gabriel was 299 yards, two touchdowns. They had negative 40, what, negative 23 yards rushing. That's insane.
yeah.
Insane.
Mine would go to the offensive line. I mean, even the rotating guards, they held Ungolele and Birch to what, three tackles?
I thought it was one tackle. It was
One t-
something insane.
and Big Dave, or I think that's his
Two
name.
tackles. It was two tackles.
Big Dave, who talked a lot of smack about Ohio State's offensive line, which granted, it's his son. His son plays for Oregon. I understand.
And it's funny. It's funny watching the dads get into it on Twitter. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna
And
lie.
Donovan Jackson's dad is like out there answering, and this dude he's been quiet. He has not spoken at all. His son got
I,
shut down.
I had no idea, honestly, Donovan Jackson's dad was even on Twitter.
I didn't either until I sent it to you. But like, somebody said this in a podcast. I forget what podcast I was listening to. Who is the MVP of this football team this year?
I
And somebody said Donovan Jackson.
well, oh yeah, well yeah, most valuable. Yeah, you can absolutely. I agree because at least on the it's a for me it's three guys. It's Caleb Downs,
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith, Donovan Jackson.
I didn't even go Will Howard. I mean, outside the Michigan game, Will Howard's been phenomenal. Just what we needed for Ohio State.
Yeah.
And but like when it comes to, you know, he's definitely earned a lot of money on Sundays. Like NFL Scots are probably licking their chops right now. And honestly, Larry Johnson, Justin Fry, um, they saved their jobs, man. They saved their jobs.
I mean, are we sure we want to hate on LJ right now? Like, I know everyone was screaming LJ needs to retire. And after this performance,
What about Justin Fry needs fired?
yeah, that too. It's the praise needs to be as loud as the hate. It's I wasn't a hater on either of them. I want to say I
I
was just
wasn't either. I
the
mean,
biggest hating I've done this year was just after the Michigan game and then
yeah,
after Denzel
coaching.
got torched against Oregon. I'll admit those are the two times I got absolutely livid. Other than that, there hasn't been much hate.
Right. So Final Four is set. Penn State versus Notre Dame next Thursday.
Which is insane. Either Penn State or Notre Dame will be playing for a national
Yep.
championship. That's
Um,
that's crazy. I love it for the sport. It's awesome to see
yeah.
one of the programs get back to the title game, but it's just crazy, and I love it. That's how this is how the playoffs should be.
Yeah.
The SEC is getting exposed. You know, when you actually have to
One more left.
all these games, it's not as black and white as these hypotheticals make it seem. You know, these teams are good football teams.
Yeah. And then Texas, Ohio State, Cotton Bowl.
Nervous,
Um,
I'm very nervous, man.
I'm nervous, but I think I'll be more nervous come next week about this time. But I love this team. I love what this team is doing. And I feel pretty confident on what we can do. I think if we come out and keep playing fast and keep playing more physical than the other teams, we're going to boat race everybody. That's just the way I look at it. But I'm nervous for the fact, can we keep that going? Can we keep that going?
What gets me nervous about the Cotton Bowl, and we'll also preview this eventually, is who's going to referee this. It's better not be an SEC crew. I don't think
It won't be because they can't.
But if it's a Big 12 crew, that's are they going to be biased towards Texas or are they going to be anti-Texas because they
I'm gonna root for ACC.
I think the fairest. I think it has to be ACC.
Because you can't do ACC with Notre Dame either because ACC has Notre Dame has ties with the ACC basically.
Who were the refs? Who were the refs for the Rose Bowl? Was it Big 12 or
ACC?
I'm fine with they. I mean, look, they didn't call.
They don't call penalties.
They don't call. They just let the boys play. I'm fine with that. I can let. Yeah, give us the ACC.
Even though the fact that there was one holding penalty last night. It was called on Ohio State, but okay, that's neither
Look,
here to say.
they refused to call holding penalties at all. It was
Yeah,
ins-
we're pretty used to that now.
but that's fine if it cuts both ways. I'd rather just have them let the boys play. Um, the crew for the Fiesta Bowl, the Boise State Penn State game, that was the worst referee crew I've seen since the 2019 Fiesta
Yeah,
Bowl.
Big Ten did the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, and the Big Ten refs are fine in the Sugar Bowl. The Big Ten refs aren't the thing about the Big Ten refs is they just they have some crazy misses.
And they're incompetent.
Yeah, they're good, like they're 90 good like 97% of the time, and the 3% of the time they're just the worst. But
Yeah.
like they're okay. The SEC refs in the Fiesta Bowl, bro. I was screaming
That
out.
was I don't think was it SEC?
Yeah, I was screaming. They literally called five straight penalties in the fourth quarter, and it was just I'm like, am I watching a preseason game? Just let them play.
So this is something, I now we're down to four with the little bit of time we've got left. Let's rank the the four coaches uh, that we got. I mean, Steve Sarkisian, who's drunk
Ryan,
all the time.
think about these. Think about this. One of these coaches will be a national champion. Steve Sarkisian, Ryan Day, James Franklin, or Marcus Freeman. That's crazy. Like
One's drunk all the time. One's looking for Lou Holtz. James Franklin complains and says,
James Franklin's looking to find out what the fans
"We're
name is.
not elite yet."
And then
Um,
Marcus Freeman's like trying to get on the
he's trying to find his way,
Marcus Freeman's trying to get on the cover of GQ magazine. like
and then you have the quarterbacks. You have Pretty Boy Will Howard. You have Pretty Boy Drew Aller. You have
boy Riley
Pretty
Leonard,
Boy Riley Leonard and Redneck Quinn Ewers.
who owes Rick Riker his truck back.
I mean, if you're ranking these four quarterbacks, and realistically, if you were not an Ohio State fan and you just looked at the overall picture, how do you not rank Will Howard as the top four, the number one quarterback left in the playoffs?
I mean, I'll say this: I would put
Riley Leonard had 90 yards passing and beat
Riley Leonard's absolutely four,
Georgia.
no doubt. The way yours has been playing, and the way so on pure talent, you
Quinn
was
Ewers.
clear number one. If I'm ranking them on how they've played throughout this,
Overall, yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with how they played the season through the playoffs. Just so everyone's like on the same page here. I'm gonna do Riley Leonard four, like you said, 90 yards passing. He's all heart, but he's not. It's not. He's not like he's not. He doesn't have it. like he did. Um, Number three, I would put Quinn. He's just been kind of a little
Yep. I have Quinn, Drew Aller, and then Will Howard.
Drew Aller has elevated his game, and I
Yeah.
got him credit. And then Will has been money.
Yeah. Yeah. But we will say the running backs outside of Blue's pretty good, but when you look at the running backs, the running back groups, you got Ohio State, Penn State. You got 1A, 1B, 1C, and then 4 with Texas because Blue's pretty good.
Don't they have Wisner too?
Yeah.
Wisner's pretty solid, dude.
The running back groups, there is 4 stud running backs in this group.
The thing about Texas is though they've been depleted at the running back position because of the injuries. I think their running backs, and they've played well. They're backups who are now starters. But it's more, I think that's more of a product of them having to play the whole season. Their stats, not necessarily that they're good and efficient. I'm taking Trey and Quinchon all day.
Oh yeah, I would go Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, Texas.
Notre Dame's running back is a stud though too.
But
Notre Dame's one running back. I mean, I would rank him arguably. I can make the way he's been playing. I can make the argument he is the best back right now.
Yeah, but overall as a
As a
group,
committee, though,
yeah.
I'm taking Ohio State all day.
And then Penn State and then
Penn
Notre
State.
Dame and
And
Texas.
and you can split hairs about the Ohio State Penn State. I get it. We're going Ohio State because if you look at the numbers, at least you know, um, I think one Ohio State we beat Penn State head to head, so I think that kind of the tiebreaker has to go to the Buckeyes there. Additionally, Penn State has played one more game, so their numbers are a little more inflated. If you take that one game behind, it's dead even. And I know I think the Penn State running backs are a little stronger in the passing game. I'll give them that. They're a lot more. They're much more the focal point of the passing attack for their offense. But Quinshawn and Trey, bro,
Yeah.
they're different. They're like what Trey can do things that none of these guys can. And Quinshawn, he's just gonna run through your face.
Um, Wide receivers, no question, Ohio State.
Yeah,
But where would you rank? It's not even close. I would go Ohio State, Texas,
yeah,
Notre Dame, Penn State.
yeah. Penn State has to be dead last. No,
tight
no,
ends, tight ends would go. I would go
no. Penn State for sure
Penn
one. I would
State,
say Notre Dame two.
Ohio State 3.
Uh, uh, hold on, Penn
I
State.
would
No,
go Texas. I think we'd have the
Texas
worst
two.
tight ends.
Penn State. I would do Penn State, Texas, Notre Dame three, and that's kind of surprising because traditionally they have strong tight ends. They don't have that traditional like really good tight end this year. They have a good player in their tight end, but he's not like the first round pick. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Notre Dame always is like kind of like they're always tight end you. It's not this year. And then Ohio State four.
Offensive line, they're all about the same. Ohio State injuries, like I would probably rank Ohio State 3 just because
I
they're
yeah,
not all intact.
I would put Texas one. I
No,
would
Texas. I'm telling you what, Arizona State put a lot of pressure on Uvers.
You could all. I mean, Saban gave Penn State's offensive line a lot of credit.
I'm going Penn State 1,
I'll say Penn State one, and then
Notre
Texas
Dame
two.
probably us 4 because we're not all
Yeah,
intact.
yeah. Notre Dame three. I mean, these are some very good lines.
Defensive line is going to be tricky.
I don't think so. I think it's
I think Ohio State's 1.
Ohio State one
I
clearly.
think Penn State's 2.
No, I got Texas. Well, no, I got Texas too. I think.
I
Uh,
have.
are we counting that the freshman Simmons as a part of the D line? I know he has like 10. I think he has like 10 sacks on the year.
Well, yeah, Texas is 2 because they could Arizona State couldn't block them.
No, I
And then I would go Penn State
Penn State.
3, Notre Dame 4.
They're all so close though. Like, but
Yeah, linebackers. I'm going Ohio State all day. Sonny Styles, Cody Simon,
I would put Notre Dame two.
Penn State 3,
Yeah, yeah. And then defensive backs. I would put.
Ohio State.
I would too. Didn't Texas's guy win the Thorpe?
Yeah, but they look bad. Well,
I'm not sold on that guy though.
no, I would go Ohio State. I would go Penn State's definitely last.
I feel like Notre Dame's got to be two man. Xavier Watts is a dog.
Yeah,
Really,
I would go Notre Dame and then Texas and then Penn State.
I would too. Texas is a great player because they have the Thorpe Award winner. But I
I
feel like
will
as a unit, I'm putting him at three.
I will tell you though, special teams Ohio State 4, Texas 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Both. What's that guy? What's that guy? The long haired guy from Texas. What's his name?
Auburn, Burt
Auburn,
Auburn. Yeah.
Burt Auburn, and Jaden Fielding. Man, oh, you couldn't ask for 2 bad kicks. I mean, Fielding made some good kicks in the Rose Bowl. Made a kick in the
He made.
Tennessee game.
Hey, Fielding went 2 for 2.
Yeah, and he
Long
made a field goal against He made a field goal against Tennessee, but our kick. I mean, Travion Henderson almost fumbled on kickoff. Like, why is Travion Henderson on kickoff? I don't get it. Like, and then
And why they just don't stick a Mecca back there? Because every time a Mecca's back there,
and
he,
then
he just
our punt.
all Mecca does the smart thing, by the way, on every kickoff. A Mecca does the one thing we can never mess up. He just goes,
And how are our gunners outrunning a punt? And they outrun it, and they're in the end zone, and they touch the ball like, oh, we can down them inside the goal line. Oh, but our guys are in the end zone.
yeah, look, it's I got no so Notre Dame is one of my special
Yeah,
teams.
number one.
They literally returned a kick for a touchdown tonight.
And they literally ran 11 on, ran 11 off, and forced Georgia to go off sides. Like,
I saw I saw a tweet. It was something along the lines of Marcus Freeman is with a master class like chess move,
dude, he out coached Kirby Smart.
forcing the team of reckless drivers to make a split-second decision on a fourth and two punt was a great play or whatever.
Hey, now that we kind of ranked the position groups for them and the coaches and stuff, but my goodness, man, how what did Kirby Smart say to Parker Jones, a redshirt sophomore white defensive back, walk on, who ran into the referee in the second quarter and caused a personal foul?
I I I gotta say, um, he has no future in Georgia. Where he does have a future is the Iowa Hawkeyes, man. Phil Parker is licking his lips. He's like, "Give me some white cornerback in the transfer portal. Give me, give me Parker. Like, bring him on."
Parker Jones, a deep corner, 190, wears number 39. You know, when you wear number 39 as a defense back, I mean, come on. They're like, here's number 39. You're a defensive back. Redshirt sophomore. He's from Deerfield, Windsor. And you can actually go on his thing and
I'm
put
reading it right now. I have it.
pitch
Uh,
an NIL deal.
he doesn't even have a bio. It says no info available. This poor dude.
Dude, he's definitely not getting a scholarship. Somebody should get him a GoFundMe because I guarantee it. They took Delta or United and they made him get on Spirit on the way back to Athens, Georgia.
Dude, they're driving. It's New Orleans. It's like a 5-hour drive. They're definitely driving, bro.
Oh yeah, do they rode the charter bus and they gave him an old school bus. You remember? Did you ever watch Major League?
Yeah.
They gave him the bus for Major League. Parker, that's your bus.
They're making Parker Uber. No, he's lifting out. He's taking a lift.
And his driver's name is Mohammed Usan.
Yeah, jeez. No.
Not in New Orleans.
Yeah, no. It's sad though. It's sad. I feel I'm glad, all serious, we're just having fun. I am glad they did postpone the Sugar Bowl
Yeah,
day.
me too.
It was the right decision. It was what happened in New Orleans was tragic. You
But
know,
what's funny is Greg Sankey went on the Paul Feinbaum show and said, "We need to push this game, but the Orange Bowl to 4 o'clock on, put it on Saturday." Blah 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 blah. No one from Notre Dame is saying anything. Greg Sankey is just pleading and pleading and pleading. I mean, I get it because Penn State's going to have 2 day off, 2 more days off. I get it. But
but they're
nobody from
only
no,
going to have the 2 more days now. There's like no. Even if we push it, Penn State is still going to have the 2 days off.
yeah,
It doesn't like it's unfortunately it is what it is. It's
yeah.
terrible. Um,
But you were pleading for something, and you weren't even like you were basically guaranteed that you were because the way you were pleading it, you were guaranteeing that you guys were going to beat your conference team was going to beat Georgia,
yeah,
I mean Notre Dame.
it's just a really unfortunate situation.
Yeah,
It's unfortunately there's no correct answer. I think the correct answer was delaying
Postpone it.
for the safety of everyone because
Yep.
there was a lot of reports that there was like pipe bombs and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was a scary situation. It was the correct. This wasn't some Kevin Warren nonsense. Just cancel half the season.
Because we're sick.
This was a legitimate safety issue for the public, and it was the right call. And it stunk that we had to wait 24 hours to watch the game, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the game wasn't the craziest game. It was a good game. I probably would have fell asleep though if it kicked off at 8:30. I would have been asleep because it
I
wasn't.
mean, just like Ole Miss is up 17-7 on Duke.
Yeah, we'll see. Lane Train.
Hey, you know what's going to be fun is when you and I go to the Ohio State Oregon game next Thursday.
Can't wait. And we're probably gonna get out of that. Probably go watch the rest of Penn State, Notre Dame. Probably maybe go Roosters. I don't know. Got some gift cards I gotta blow through at the. I still have $75 in Roosters gift cards, which
You just used 50 tonight. We
I
did.
yeah, it's I still have like $75 in Roosters gift cards is about $1,000.
We get ready for the Cotton Bowl.
It's gonna be good.
So yeah, probably expect since we're going to the game Thursday, probably expect our episode to drop maybe Wednesday, maybe
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
So
That's all I got. It's about to kick us off here. I just want to thank everyone for listening to another episode of the Bunch of Nuts podcast. Great win for the Buckeyes. And we'll see you soon to talk some Cotton Bowl preview. Go Bucks, baby.
go Bucks.